So where we left off, we've got your instructions here for adding the overlay. Of course, just click the button and we'll use the image we were using from before. And this will give you the step-by-step instructions on exactly what's going on and how to add stuff. And essentially your first point of call is this window up in the top left-hand corner, which displays the image you selected, which is of the Melbourne show map we used before. You can also open it in full screen, which just makes your life a little easier. And the main goal here is to find 2 reference points that you'll also be able to find in the real space to align both maps. So there's basically a smart algorithm in the background that, as long as of course you select 2 points in the map on the image, and then when you've set those you can just click next, and then you find them in the real world. So we'll switch over to satellite here, and I know that these points are here and here. And this will basically give you a quick layout of what's going on. You don't need to pay too much attention to it unless you know the exact XY coordinates and lat long coordinates and how they should match up. Hopefully our tool's done all that for you, so it's ready to do the calibration. We can click apply alignment, and this basically do some math in the background and essentially refresh your builder, and hopefully when it's loaded we should have a perfectly aligned map, as you can see here. So you can see the rail line is matching up with the rail line here. It's nice and aligned to the edges of the map on the road there. So happy days, we've now got our overlined map. Now, where some of the differences come in when you're looking at your standard and overlay maps versus the image map is in the map settings and in the display settings. So in the map settings here, you can see there's a couple of extra options, which is your map style, which you briefly saw when we were setting it. So you can choose, you know, a light background or a dark background depending on what you want, and this will basically just highlight your overlay versus what was going on in the background there. Your clustering options are still the same. You've got some other options here in terms of zoom level, because of course we're dealing with the world here, so you can physically set what your zoom level is, and if you're not really sure what 17 means, you can turn these things on here, and it will just tell you what your current zoom is, and you can give yourself a zoom warning as well. So say for example your max zoom and min zoom is 16 and 17, so if you zoom out here, you'll see that the overlay itself changes, just to give you a bit of a warning, but you're now outside of your min and max zoom, which we allow you to do in the builder, but obviously in the public map it's going to force you to do it. And the same is for when you go too far in. So now we're above our max zoom, so we're too far in. We're not going to let people come to this, and you can see this now turns yellow. If you zoom out, now it turns green. So this is the max your users will be able to zoom in there. The other value you can change as well is the rotation. So say for example with this, we actually prefer it to be sort of right way up. So this is currently north facing. So if we rotate it to say here, and I already knew what the value was, but you can use this slider here if you want to be a bit more technical, just to keep it a bit more aligned. You can do that as well. And that pretty much covers off all the differences between image and overlay, or image and even standard map. The overlay of course being the one key difference in overlay versus standard. Your display settings are all the same, your marker settings all the same, wayfinding works exactly the same way, apart from that key difference I was explaining when I was going through image maps. You don't need to do any calibration to get it to work, it'll just work by default. So yeah, I will leave it there.